Well, even though I lived in Queens and I actually lived there until I was age 17, I would come back and forth. Actually, all of my mother's siblings lived in Harlem. I went to Harlem Prep. I would have liked to have gone into, the music industry. I was always fascinated, with music. But I couldn't play an instrument and don't have the greatest voice, so then I knew, okay, that's not going to work. But I have had a cousin, she passed away, Elaine Chu. And Elaine Chu was how would I say, she was a social worker without the MSW. Just watching her and the care and concern, that she had for like everybody from all walks of life. I mean, I was totally impressed with that. But then I can also even go back further, even before, say, high school. I remember a time when I was actually in North Carolina for the summer. That's where my mother grew up. And they sent myself and a cousin down for the summer. And I remember this family that was actually down, as they say in North Carolina then, down the road, and this house, and it had like so many kids in there. And I remember there was one girl, she was my age, and we became friends. But then, you looked in this house and then you saw just how, how poor, they were really poor. And, you saw her clothes was really tattered. And when my mother sent me down, I had like, so many, pieces of clothing. And I remember giving this young lady some of my clothes because I really felt bad for her. I have so much and she has so little. I think I kind of knew then, if I look back and say, what, I was destined to do what I'm doing now. This is the block that I work in Harlem. I work for a shelter for young men age 18 to 25. You have a lot of them who have a history of foster care. It's just really sad that, at the age of 18, they age out. So a lot of times, the agency, what they'll do, they'll drop them off at the shelter, if that, and it's like, I would just wish you luck. You have a lot of young men and women who have been in the foster care system, and God knows the things that they've experienced and the things that they've seen. And you have a lot of them that are so angry, extremely angry. If you have 100 kids in a room, if I can maybe just reach maybe 1 or 2, I'm happy. I believe progress, is always a wonderful thing. Change is a good thing sometimes, not all the time. Now, looking at Harlem now and looking at some of the changes that are being made in terms of some of the businesses that are here, I think it's a wonderful thing because, with that it will provide, opportunities, employment opportunities for people in the community. Now, on the other hand, as every little nook and cranny, you see a new development. But people who live in this community can't afford to live there. So then who are they building it for? They're not building it for us. Like I said, on one hand it's good, and on the other hand, it's not. And I think the fear, of people in the community is that they will be priced out because they have these new developers who they don't care about the people. They just care about how much money can I make.